Welcome to your weekly interval. This is the Best Damn Nerd Show. I'm your host, microphone alchemist James Kincaid, two-manning it today because back by my side, Imperial Commissar Jeff Budd.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be a guest again.
Yeah, from favorite listener to favorite co-host yet again, Jeff.
I know I feel bad because not only have I not been on the show in a long time, I have not listened to the show in a long time. So I have just fallen apart.
You're usually
when it
such a diligent listener.
Blame Talking Sopranos. I've been trying to catch up on that podcast because I want to listen to the last episodes live.
Wow.
And they come out on Mondays too. So...
Man, well, okay, so you see where your bread is buttered, because I was going to ask, as you get top billing by default, since you're the only one here today.
It's in my contract.
Well, yes, I mean, you would have got it, but
yeah.
You should have heard Davis, I believe, on the last episode, was so excited that he finally got top mention and completely derailed the opening of the show.
Doesn't he usually get top mention if I'm not there? I usually agree with Davis, but if he thinks his name belongs top billing, then...
I think he does, and I think you should stop agreeing with him. In particular, his feelings about the show Loki, which in fact stinks.
Oh, is he for the show?
He's for it, and had the ridiculous argument that the Loki that we're getting in this show is like the Phase 1 Loki that they pulled him from, and he acts nothing like it in the show. And so Davis's argument in support of it is erroneous and outrageous. And I'm glad he's not here to defend himself. So that's what I've got to say about that. But yeah, welcome back.
The show could be nothing but pumpkin pie, but I'll never know because I'm not going to watch the motherfucker.
Good. You're not missing anything. What have you been up to?
I've been traveling because I'm on summer break, and then I had a birthday. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday.
I did on the show.
You did? Did you?
No.
Oh.
But
I would have listened to that one.
I know. If I bet you would, you son of a bitch.
I mean, if the topic's not something that I'm interested in or about me, which is the topic I'm interested in, I don't really see the point in listening anymore. Unless you guys are talking Sopranos.
You might like Loki.
I liked Tom Hiddleston just fine when you...
Same.
What year was that? 2011?
Yeah, for Thor?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's fallen a long way.
Is Owen Wilson doing all right? Maybe I should ask Davis.
Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson were my favorite parts of the show. Them together, and then
I think it is important that the main character is somebody that you're interested in.
Well, but then they split them up, and the show is a fucking nothing, dude. It's a zilch. It's boring. It's poorly written.
So where do you go? Do you go WandaVision top? Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier, and then that? Or is Falcon Winter Soldier above WandaVision? I never finished WandaVision, never even watched an episode of Falcon Winter Soldier.
I think WandaVision,
I don't know if I watched Disney Plus.
of a crop of 3 badge series is still the best of a Bad Batch, if you will. Bad
Batch is Bad Batch number 1. Is Bad Batch the best of the MCU shows?
Haven't watched anything since we talked about Bad Batch. I would probably go WandaVision at this point. Loki is trembling, clinging to number 2, but it's about to be overtaken by Falcon and Winter Soldier. I hated Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was terrible.
And
show.
you love Captain America.
I love Captain America, and I love Falcon, and I love the Winter Soldier. But that show stunk. But Loki is they are battling for the worst of the worst in terms of the MCU series. Which I mean. I was thinking about it.
Loki still has somewhere to go, so we'll see if they turn it around or if they just.
They only have 2 episodes left. It's terrible.
Oh wow, only 2 episodes.
It's only a 6-episode show. It's only a 6-episode show, and they've wasted an inordinate amount of time.
I want like real shows again.
But I mean, I was thinking about it. I've seen a lot of the comments that sort of echo my feeling. Is that I was very happy when I stepped off of the MCU after Endgame. It was like, all right, that's fine. I'm good with, where things settled, and then
like a soft ending where you could leave then and it's fine, or if you want to continue going, they'll
be willfully ignorant of anything else that followed it, But
what have we gotten since then? A Spider-Man movie in these shows? Has there been anything else? Oh well, and Black Widow's even a prequel, so that really doesn't even count.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. But I say that to say I regret
coming back on.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you regret the podcast? Isn't this the only reason that you're even watching those shows?
I don't regret
this is why
the podcast.
I don't do the podcast anymore. What is this? The Disney Plus show? I have no desire.
I don't regret the podcast.
Let's talk about Sopranos episodes from 2002.
We can do that, and in fact, we might in the next segment here. But I don't regret the podcast. But the only reason I am watching this stuff is the podcast. So if your mind can grasp those contradictions, be that as it may, you've been traveling. I understand you got a little show and tell. This is for those on YouTube, by the way.
Theater of the mind, Otto. Theater of the mind. I recently was in New York City on vacation with my wife, and in New York, they have the multi-level Harry Potter store. It's like multiple floors, and they have memorabilia from the movies. They have all sorts of cool little gifts and things like that you can purchase. I picked up a wand. Now, the wand chooses the wizard, so it's not even really that it was my choice. What I liked about this place is they actually had like every wand that was ever introduced in the movies, and they had pictures of the wizards, so you knew which wand went with who. And it's like, now you're probably thinking, it's like, which wand would Jeff have? And it's the Elder Wand.
Oh!
So I'm only 2 away from having all of them, and then I'll be able to master death or whatever those things are supposed to do. So, yeah, I'm afraid that by revealing to the Best Damn Nerd Show audience that I have the Elder Wand, I'm going to get my throat slit in the middle of the night and the wand stolen from me.
You're gonna wind up dead during the next Muppet Baby situation, Jeff.
Exactly. Not a replica, though. This is the actual Elder Wand.
Of course, yeah. The very same. That's awesome.
Yeah, and what's cool is they not only had that wand, they also, and they labeled the wands on the boxes. Let me see. I don't know if you can see that or not. It says Albus Dumbledore, since it was his, which I would say it's actually Draco Malfoy's wand. Did he not best Dumbledore in combat and disarm him?
Yeah, wasn't that the point?
Yeah. But they also had Dumbledore's wand prior to him acquiring the Elder Wand, which I don't know if that's what Jude Law wields in the new movies. Probably. They had, like I said, everybody's wand. They also just had like some random ones that like would be sort of specific. There were like references to it like for each house, which those were really nice looking. And then also just like some other random wands. You could get them engraved. If you have kids, I highly recommend going here and like kind of doing the entire experience. And they also had like, pencils, pens, things like that. And then also may get up to a little mischief. This is the Marauders
map.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and it's yeah. Let's see. Where are you right now? San Francisco.
Wow, damn thing works.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, this was pretty cool. It looks exactly like it did in the movie, which I really like. Other than, of course, a bunch of names floating around it, but it's an entire map of Hogwarts School of Wizardry. And then let me put this away real fast. Mischief managed.
For those of you not watching, Jeff did in fact use his wand to do that.
Oh, do you guys still do the podcast? I thought this was just a YouTube show that you guys do now. Try to piss people off with your inflammatory titles.
Yeah, that's the title wing of the show is John and Tim's branch.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who do I send my hate mail to?
Yeah, you can send your hate mail to John Craig and Tim Childs. Mostly John.
Look what Hollywood's ruining in capital letters now.
That I agree with, but there was one that was just incredibly misleading. And I was like, well, whatever.
That's because it's like movie executives sodomize your favorite nerdy interests. It's like, all right, John.
Also, well, now that I think about it, that one's not so wildly in it.
Oh, Hollywood, yeah, I imagine. I also went to the Nintendo store in New York. This is like a link bag that they gave me.
Awesome.
There I just bought a Legend of Zelda hoodie, which is kind of cool. Just like the Hyrule family crest, so it's just the Triforce and like the eagle and everything like that. So that was nice. I think it's in the laundry right now, so I don't have it. I'm trying to think what else we got. I mean, those were the big like nerdy things we did in New York. The rest of it was like regular New York stuff, so nothing appropriate for the podcast.
Super lame.
We also did some Sex and the City stuff. Is this a Sex and the City podcast?
Oh, no. God, no.
I saw Carrie's apartment. I was at the stoop. That's where
proud
Big
you
came.
must be.
Yeah. It's a funny show. I like it.
All right.
You know, you're such a Miranda right now.
You haven't been listening to the show. I believe it was John and Davis both talking up Breath of the Wild recently as well.
What, the new one that'll be coming out?
Yeah.
Why isn't it just a patch for the old one? Isn't it just where do you go from there if it's just an empty map? Like I just don't understand. It's just a Zelda print Skyrim, isn't it? I mean, it's just open world nonsense.
Yeah, they were chatting it up.
We peaked in '98 with Ocarina of Time. Everything since then has been sort of like on the plateau or just downhill.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, you know what? We're all in our 30s now. We have no business playing Zelda games. You pass it on to the next generation.
But they stink, though. I mean, it's important.
That's their problem.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I just feel like, what you said is an important point. It's important to be able to recognize that, things can be great for a long time and have their apex point, and then, precipitous decline, like the MCU or Star Wars.
Davis is really into Breath of the Wild. I just don't get it.
Yes.
I mean, it's fine. Graphics, whatever. Zelda's not really known for its graphics or anything. That's okay. I find the durability of the weapons tiresome. I find a lot of the weapons they even have in it kind of dumb. And the armor, it depends. I don't know. A lot of it's just like, ugh.
It would not be the opening segment of the Best Damn Nerd Show for at least the past month if we did not talk about Mass Effect. So,
have we been talking about Mass Effect?
Oh yeah, that like if anything like directive in the show has changed, this is now a Mass Effect podcast more than anything else.
I got to start listening.
So I know you've been playing through the Legendary Edition.
Yes.
Your thoughts so far, where you're at, and we will be doing a huge episode on all three games once you finish. But talk at me, babe. Where are you at?
I'm right where I belong, and that's between the Reapers and the people of this galaxy.
Amen to that.
Yeah. No, it's been so much fun to go back and revisit the series. I haven't played those games since I played them on the 360, like back when they all came out. So, I mean, especially like the first Mass Effect. I'm partway through 2. I don't really want to say halfway because, with all the little side things you can do, you never know. But yeah, I guess I just the derelict collector ship. I just finished exploring that. Mm-hmm. So that was the last mission I think I did in Mass Effect 2. But obviously, I finished Mass Effect 1. That one, I think it really hit me once I started walking around the Citadel again for the first time. It was just like, wow, I don't know, it captured some of that magic from back when I first played it.
100%.
Yeah.
It didn't realize just how much I missed being a part of that world and that story, and like I had forgotten so much. Like once I was in the missions, like it all came back. It's like, like, but there were things that like twists and turns or side missions that I had completely forgotten about until I it was very cool rediscovering a lot of the game again because it had been so long.
And like you, I didn't play any of the DLC the first time it came out, so this is my first time experiencing Bring Down the Sky and facing off against the Batarians in the first game, as opposed to just hearing rumors about them and stuff in the Codex.
Yeah, that was a cool thing for me too, because my character background for Shepard that I chose was the colonist one, and his parents were murdered by those scumbags. So
I have a great relationship with my parents. I'm a spacer.
That's awesome. When I finished 3, I immediately started playing through 1 again, and I'm doing like a Ultra Paragon playthrough, and I chose Spacer for the background as well. So,
are you a war hero or?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Jeff Shepard.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first playthrough I did was War Hero, but I was still Colonist. I think this is actually the first time I've played through doing Spacer. So.
Oh yeah, all right, good. That's exciting. You're gonna like it, I think.
I did not.
Where are you at in the playthrough for this one?
Oh, very very early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think I'm still on Eden Prime.
Okay.
So I just started it, but yeah, I love that you're playing through it, and I am interested in discussing all 3 games with you in totality. And Mark and I talked about the hate that Mass Effect 3 got and stuff like that, and sort of looking back at it in hindsight. I don't know. It's gonna be a fun episode. So keep plugging along. And try and stay loyal to Ashley if you can, with Miranda just sauntering around. I know it's difficult.
I took Kelly out for a date, so we stayed up all night talking. Apparently,
yeah, that's it. Ashley did the leaving on Horizon, so that's
the way I justify it is, they are on a break. They're not in a relationship at this point. It's just, I don't know. It's sad, but what can you do?
What can you do?
How do you know I didn't have Liara? Maybe that's who I romanced in the first one.
Because we've been talking. so
I'm not as big a fan of Liara as other people are. So yeah, I don't normally romance her.
I like Liara.
I like Tali more.
I like Tali. Mike, despite what my most recent playthrough Shepard, that in terms of being an alien, speciest Earth firster, in this new playthrough I'm planning on romancing Liara for the first time ever. Never done it in Mass Effect. I've always gone straight for Ashley. So
Liara's a sweetheart. So
yeah, she is. I don't want to belabor it because we'll talk about it, but a lot of the things that I enjoyed most about Mass Effect 3 is just getting to have moments with each of those characters. They've been with you through the whole series and stuff like that. But we're going to take a break. Jeff referenced The Sopranos. We will be talking, I think, for first time ever in Best Damn Nerd Show, in a little bit of Sopranos news and
finally
prequel and the trailer that has come out. We'll be talking about that and more on the other side in the Best Damn Nerd Show.